So Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson just broke a story about the next Sony PlayStation handheld console. And if the information that he is sharing is correct, well then this is going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. We're going to get into all of the known information right now, but before we do, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure to go ahead and do so. But anyway, jumping straight into the article, we can see here it says codenamed the Q Lite. It is the next PlayStation handheld, and it's the next piece of Sony hardware that aims to be yet another piece of hardware that requires the PS5. Insider Gaming understands that the Q Lite is not a cloud streaming device, but instead uses remote play with the PlayStation 5, a feature that the console giant has been pushing these past couple of weeks. So it sounds like the whole purpose of this handheld console is not to be an actual handheld console, but rather to essentially just be for remote play for a PS5, which of course means that it requires a PS5 to even function in the first place. Going back to the article, we can see it says sporting adaptive streaming up to 1080p at 60 FPS, the new device will require constant connectivity to the internet. As for the console's physical features, early prototypes show the console will look a lot like the PlayStation 5 controller, but with a massive 8-inch LCD touchscreen in the center. The device sports adaptive triggers for haptic feedback and will include what you would expect to come from a handheld: volume buttons, speaker, an audio input jack, etc. So overall, it looks like they're going to be sticking with the PlayStation 5 theme, so it is going to look essentially like a DualSense controller. It is going to have that massive screen, which is bigger than pretty much every other handheld screen out at the moment, including the Switch OLED and the Steam Deck, which only come in at 7 inches. And I think it's safe to assume, based off of the previous mentioned specs, that it is going to be a 8-inch 16:9 1080p screen, probably at 60 Hz. Now continuing with the article, it says Insider Gaming understands that the Q Lite is in its QA phase and is scheduled to release before the PlayStation 5 Pro and after the detachable disc drive PS5. For those that are unaware, there is apparently a new PlayStation 5 in the works that doesn't include a disc drive built in, but rather has it as a separate accessory, and apparently that PS5 is going to replace the current 2 versions of the PS5 that are out in the market. Assuming that these leaks are correct, it means that that new version of the PS5 will be first to release, and then afterwards will be PlayStation's handheld. So continuing with the article, we can see it says, as previously mentioned by industry insider Jeff Grubb, Sony is planning to announce its second phase of the PS5, which was in reference to its future game slate. Ironically though, this second phase is very much true for Sony's hardware offerings, with the new detachable disc drive PlayStation 5, Project Nomad, which are wireless earphones, Project Voyager, which is a wireless headset, and the Q Lite handheld, all scheduled to release within a very short period of time. It's understood that the PlayStation 5 Pro is aiming for a holiday 2024 release. So overall, that is pretty much all the information that we have about the new Sony handheld console. Unfortunately, if these leaks are true, it seems like their next console isn't really going to be even a console, but rather just a dedicated remote play accessory for the PlayStation 5. Assuming that this is the case and the new PlayStation handheld is simply just an accessory for the PlayStation 5, I think most of us are probably going to be pretty disappointed with how Sony is going about this. We haven't gotten a new Sony handheld console since 2011 with the PS Vita. And after the commercial failure of the PS Vita, Sony basically said that they were done making handheld consoles. But a lot of companies have started to make handhelds once again since the success of the Nintendo Switch. Because of the success of the Nintendo Switch, we have seen new consoles come to the market, such as the Steam Deck and even the recently announced Asus ROG Ally. And so it makes sense that Sony might want to dip back into the handheld console market. But going about it with a completely online-only remote play accessory for the PlayStation 5 just seems like a really dumb way to go about it. Especially when you consider the fact that they already offer a mobile remote play app for Android and iOS, meaning that you can already use your phone as a remote play accessory to the PS5. They even partnered with Backbone, who makes mobile controllers for Android and iPhone, basically meaning that you can already make your own version of this type of handheld that they seem to be designing. It just really doesn't make sense that they would be working on a new handheld that is only for remote play for the PS5 when you can already accomplish all these things on your phone or even something like the Steam Deck. It just feels like Sony wants to ride the current success of the handheld market and basically replicate what the Nintendo Switch or the Steam Deck have been able to accomplish, but they're going about it in the complete wrong way and taking away everything that made those devices unique and fun in the first place, and instead just releasing a PlayStation branded Logitech G Cloud. So assuming that all of these rumors are indeed correct, unfortunately we've waited over 10 years for the next PlayStation handheld, and it looks like it's going to be a flop before it even actually releases. But let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And with all of that being said, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.